Okay, so you might not want to hear this because I didn't want to hear it at first either, but procrastination is ruining your life. I'm really talking to myself. Procrastination is ruining your life. It leads to misery and mediocrity, and every time you push that one little thing back or you wait to start that project, you're actually ruining your life. If you're struggling with procrastination, confidence, productivity, then this video is for you. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Whitney, digital content creator and social media consultant, and I help everyday people make money on their social media. So if you're new here, well, technically I'm new here, so let's be friends. Hit the subscribe button. Okay, so I've been reading this book, Who Not How by Dr. Dan Sullivan. I'll drop a link to it in the description box in case you want to read it, but I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of the book. So he says, and when he said this, my mouth dropped. I was like, why are you talking to me? Why are you screaming so loud? He said procrastination is ruining your life. And when I read that, I felt attacked. He said procrastinating limits your potential. So he explains it. He says every time you achieve a goal, there's this uptick in your confidence. So if you're making progress towards the goal, or you're moving in the right direction, or you completely knock the goal off of your list, this increases your confidence. He defines confidence as your ability to imagine, conceptualize, and then go get it. The more confident you are, the brighter your future looks. But every time you procrastinate, you're actually stopping your confidence from growing. When you procrastinate, you're no longer moving towards that goal. You're no longer achieving that goal, and your confidence stops growing. And then this is the part that almost choked me. He said, if you have no confidence, then you have no imagination. And if you have no imagination, then you have no future. What? Because eventually you're gonna stop trusting yourself and you're gonna stop believing in yourself. And we've all seen that. We know people who have lost their confidence. We've seen it happen, but that ain't happening to us, okay? We're gonna fix that today. I have 5 practical things that you can do today to kick procrastination in the butt. Starting with number 1, and y'all knew I was gonna start here, but the first tip to really stop procrastinating is to pray about it. God wants us to ask Him for help. He wants us to pray, and He wants us to pray some more. He wants to be the first in our thoughts and the first when we are in need. So ask God to give you moment by moment, step by step instructions. Y'all too busy trying to slay Goliath, but really the first step is to eat a balanced breakfast. So while you out there slaying Goliath, your stomach not growling. The first step is to find rocks and pebbles. What you gonna fight Goliath with, right? So ask God to tell you what to do next. Lord, what do I do next? That leads me to productivity tip number 2 is to write it down. Girl, after He tells you what to do, go write that stuff down. That's gonna turn into eventually a to-do list. I live by to-do lists. And make it realistic. Don't make your to-do list 45 bullet points long. Just a few things. What are 2 things that I can do today to help me get closer to whatever my goal is? Not only does this stop procrastination, because now you're making progress, but this also increases and upticks your confidence. Moving right along to practical productivity tip number 3. Procrastination is actually a sign of wisdom. So if you are a procrastinator, you're actually very wise, yes. Because if you're procrastinating, that means you've come to a place where you're not moving. And it's probably because you're not the right person to execute the plan, at least not right now anyway. Maybe you lack knowledge, or maybe you lack capabilities, or maybe you lack the resources. And that's why you're procrastinating, because you're stuck. So whenever you're procrastinating, that should be a sign, use that as wisdom. That's a sign that tells me that I'm in this weird space and I need help. Instead of asking yourself, how can I get this done? Start asking yourself, who can help me get this done? Okay? Finding the right who can help you get through whatever stage you're in. Remember, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's done, everything that you've thought of, every great idea you've had, there's someone who's done it already. So instead of saying, how can I do this? Start asking yourself, who can help me do this? This could be a coach. This could be an expert. This could be a YouTube channel. There's nothing you can't do with YouTube University. Maybe it's to outsource it because you hate this particular part of the project, or you're just not really good at this particular part of the project and you want to find somebody else that can do it. Girl, find some help. Stop trying to do it all on your own. When you get to a point where you're procrastinating, it's probably because you need some help. Moving right along, productivity tip number 4 is to set yourself up for success. So my phone gets me every single time. It don't matter where I'm at. It don't matter how busy or how focused I am. I'ma always look over and see what that phone doing, and then it just calls my name and I gotta walk over there and check it. And the crazy part about it is the phone be dry. So to combat this, I've been using downtime. And I discovered this, I say I discovered it like I actually invented it, but no, I discovered it in my settings during one of my fasts. I kept waking up and the first thing I would do in the morning is check my phone, and it was driving me mad because I was like, I'm supposed to be spending this time with God. So after doing a quick search through Apple settings, I found out that you can actually block off certain apps at certain times. So if you know that your productivity is Monday through Friday from a certain time to another certain time, why don't you just set some downtime, and that way you're blocking off apps, emails, anything that's gonna distract you while you're working. So now if I accidentally pick up my phone, it's useless. I can't do nothing with it anyway, and I have to put it down. Another tip is to put your phone to work. So use your phone for something else, like playing music, or my favorite, recording behind the scenes for social media. If your phone is just sitting there, then you're going to grab it. But if it's recording a time lapse on a tripod and it's actually doing something, then you can't use it, you can't grab it. So that is productivity tip number 4, which leads me to our next productivity tip, which is working on the right thing at the right time. I've noticed that the mornings are more productive for me, but it could be late at night that's more productive for you. During those high productivity times, I want you to set high priority tasks. I do those in the morning and I use a timer. So I'll set a 45-minute timer. I'll crank out 45 minutes of work. And I like to make my screen full so that that's the only thing that I'm focusing on at the moment, and I'm not distracted by the tabs and the pop-ups and all the other things. And after my 45 minutes is up, then I will take a 20-minute break. I'll walk around, scroll on Instagram, grab a snack, stretch. And when the break is over, I'll start another work session. So if you do a few rounds of these a day, you're actually more productive than going to work and working from 9 to 5. So these are just some practical tips to help you stop procrastinating and ruining your life, and instead start putting one foot in front of the other and getting stuff done. I hope this helps. If you're interested in more videos like this, where I'm sharing everything content, business, entrepreneurship right here on this YouTube channel, then hit the subscribe button and I will see y'all soon. Bye!